We are Team 7236, the Inspired Innovators, and we are presenting our mood tracker app. Our co-designer, her name is Isabella. She is the girlfriend of my brother. She is a graduate of Washington University in St. Louis, and she currently works as a computer engineer at Motorola Solutions down in Florida. Isabella has ADHD, which in her case, having this condition makes it hard for her to understand and name her own emotions. She often does not know how to name emotions and cannot connect them to their causes. For example, if she plays a video game that she really likes and then she feels happy and content after playing that game, she may not make the connection between the game and the happy, content feeling she feels, and this can cause a problem, not just for not understanding things that she likes and dislikes, but can also lead to her misunderstanding other people based on how their actions and words make her feel. So this often just ends up in a lot of confusion for her with interactions, and also for self-fulfillment, because she does not understand what things cause her to feel certain ways. And regarding this problem, the thing Isabella wanted was to be able to have data about her own emotions in order for her to analyze that data, to look at it, to reflect about it, and to recognize patterns in that data. For example, if she always feels a certain negative emotion after coming back from work, that means that she would be able to maybe figure out the cause of why she's always feeling that emotion after coming back from work. And this would not just apply to the workday, this could apply with interactions with her coworkers, with her family, or even for simple things like, oh, I didn't like this food I ate today very much, but without being able to track what her responses are to all of these different things, she would not be able to make these connections and would not be able to change her routines and her habits based on what she's feeling, because it's hard for her to track and remember and name what she's feeling. So based on this, we decided together to develop an app that would allow her to pick from emotions, simple emotions that she could easily describe her own emotions as, to help her name the emotion, and then based on the date and time logged, she could look at the data of all the different emotions she's cataloged and be able to reflect on her own, to be able to recognize patterns, change her habits, and just generally be more understanding about herself and how she interacts with the world.
Now I'm going to go over our initial prototype and what changes we've made based on the feedback we received. Initially, we designed a mood tracking app with customizable reminders, a simple journaling section with keyword tagging, and a growing garden feature as a form of visual motivation. We created a lo-fi prototype in Figma to visualize the basic flow. Based on the feedback, we realized a few things. We needed a clearer connection between Isabella's challenges and our features, since our idea felt a bit too general. Also, a lot of our features were very similar to existing apps, so we needed better differentiation. We also hadn't clearly defined what we were testing with our prototype, and we didn't fully consider a broader risk like user engagement and usability. So based on that, we made a few changes. We refined our features to be more personalized and focus more on generating insights, like helping Isabella identify patterns in her mood over time. And we also defined clearer prototype goals, specifically testing whether the app supports reliable, low-effort tracking. We also started considering risks by making sure the app isn't overstimulating and easy to use.
After discussing with our co-designer Isabella, we discovered that our main project risk was that the app would be overwhelming to use. Therefore, we went with a calm color design, and we decided not to do a streak. Instead, as you can see here, we created a plant place where every time she contributes, her plant grows. Additionally, we just didn't want it to be too difficult to use, so we have one main functionality, and we're focused on that and data gathering and display.
So here's our design page. We had a home screen and a page for the plant, along with a separate page for the mood tracking aspect of this app, where Isabella could just rate her day daily. And we have a few different emotions here that Isabella can change as she sees fit.
One of our main uncertainties to solve was that we were working originally with Android Studio. And Android Studio is kind of difficult because it's not intuitive to use. So we decided after a little bit to switch to Flutter, which was really good. And as you can see, the image on the right is using Flutter, and the image on the left too was when we were using, or the image all the way on the left was when we were using Android Studio, and we decided that with Flutter would work much better for our prototype.
So this is our demonstration of our app, part of the slideshow. We have 3 different parts of our app. We have our main home screen, which is where you can basically describe your feelings. You can click which button you feel most attuned to at the moment, so happy, sad, angry, anxious, excited, or melancholy. And so depending on which feeling you pick, you're basically going to be able to, depending on the day, be able to see which feelings you were depending on which day it was in the week, and you get to graph this data over time so you can identify trends within your emotions. And then we also have a plant center, which is basically as you use the app as for motivation, you can see these plants grow from small stage to large stage as you click more buttons, depending on, again, how many days you use the app in a row for. And so the data section also is exactly what I was just talking about, which is where you can, depending on the days of the week, you can see how your emotions were. And so the results of testing, basically we found out that our buttons are kind of cut off due to different screen sizes compared to when we were developing and to the people we were testing the app on different phones. So we have to work on our styling a bit. And also our days of the week are not properly assigned, so we have to fix that.